Hi, I'm Susan LeBlanc, and this is Conversations with the Goodman School of Business. My guest today is Jacinta Vanderheyden. Hi, Jacinta.
Hi, Susan.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Good. You graduated with a BBA in 2013.
Yes.
Correct? And a concentration in HR.
Yes.
And you were very active as a student here when you were at Goodman. You were involved with, I believe, the BSA, the HRMA, which is the HR Student Club,
Yes.
and 5 Days for the Homeless.
Yes.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about all of those experiences.
Sure. So I started my involvement with the BSA as the executive assistant, and kind of having a bit of taste with the Business Students Association, I wanted to kind of further my involvement. So in my fourth year of university, I ended up applying for the VP of Human Resources position, which I was fortunate to land. And opened up kind of an array of opportunities and learning experiences for me. So part of that platform was that I got to oversee the volunteer recruitment. I got to work with a team of coordinators and kind of fine-tune those leadership skills. And then again, one of them was leading the 5 Days for the Homeless campaign. So everything kind of from planning it to the project execution of it and overseeing the event.
And you actually slept outside.
I did sleep outside.
For 5 nights.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was actually a very fun experience, despite the fact that you're sleeping outside. Was about 10 to 15 people who participated as well. So kind of being involved in the whole planning of it, and then seeing it come to fruition, and then even being able to kind of be part of the team there. Sleeping outside was a fun way to be involved and really seeing everything kind of come to a head.
But it's a kind of a tough thing to do too, because I don't know if people understand what you end up like. You can't shower, you can't eat anything other than food that's given to you.
Yeah.
You live as if you're a homeless person.
Yeah, you do. It's an interesting experience. I found the toughest part was going to class and talking with people who might not necessarily understand the full effect of the cause or what it stood for. But that's also what made it so fun, because you were able to kind of go in and explain to people, what the purpose of the charity was, how it worked, and really kind of enlighten them on what the program was all about, which was supporting youth in need within the community and making us aware that this is something that we have out there.
Right.
But we do have a very generous community too.
Yeah.
So you can only eat and drink what has been donated to you. But we had large amounts of donations that even on a few nights, we had perishable items that we were able to take down to the local community center to donate them to families who might have been there for meals or something.
Right. Yeah. Now you were not a co-op student.
No, I wasn't.
But the good thing was, because of all of your experiences at Goodman, because you took advantage of a lot of the opportunities here, you had quite a bit to fill on your resume when it came time to start your career after graduation, because we should say you work at Hudson's Bay now.
Yes.
In the HR department.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
So not being in co-op, I ended up kind of building my experience, whether it was through outlets like clubs, like being the VP HR, conferences and competitions, but then even gaining employment on campus. So I really built my experience around that. I also built my experience around making connections in the community. So again, being part of these clubs and the Business Students Association, I was able to look into securing a corporate sponsor for the 5 Days for the Homeless, which required me to kind of get out into the Niagara community and meet with different business owners or managers. And from that, because I approached them as a corporate sponsor for an event, I was able to establish that relationship. And then they started asking me, what am I going to do for employment post-graduation, which helped me land my first job after graduation with a small business here in Niagara.
Yeah, and then you've moved your way up, and you're now with Hudson's Bay, as we were saying, in downtown Toronto. You're right at the head office.
Yes.
Yeah. So what do you do there now? Yeah.
So now I work as the talent and development manager at the Hudson's Bay company. I started about 2.5 years ago now, where I started as an HR administrator and recruiter. And I remember in my interview we were talking about my various experience, and one of the questions they had was if I had experience in recruiting and in leadership. And I was able to kind of pull on my experience from being the VP of HR and helping to recruit and select all of the different coordinators for our volunteer positions. and kind of tie that into my recruitment experience, and then again my leadership experience from the different projects that I may have led or been involved in. And then since there, my career kind of has grown and grown with them and changed a bit, because I've held 3 different roles, and now here I am as the talent and development manager, which focuses a lot on the talent and development of either our associates, our managers, our culture change, and then of course overseeing the recruitment process to make sure we're getting the right talent into the company.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. And one thing I always like to ask all our grads who come back is if you could give any advice to a younger you or to a current student, what would you give? What advice would you give them?
I think my main advice is to make the most of your time here and make your university an experience. And that I did, of course, by being involved. The people that you meet, the skills that you gain, the experiences that you have are comparable to none. And it's definitely, I think, the most important thing is to make it an experience, and do that by getting out there and exploring and getting to know all the different opportunities that are in front of you.
You're right, yeah. And if you're lucky, like so many of our Goodman grads and students, you meet your future spouse.
Yes, you just might.
You just might, because I think there's a wedding coming up soon.
There is. So I am also engaged to another Brock graduate who is also very involved.
Yes,
so.
And also did a podcast with us,
Yes.
Matt Gruchin. So, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And we wish you all the best. I think that's it. Thank you so much for coming, Jacinta.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll. I know you're also involved in the Alumni Network.
Yes.
And you're helping us plan the big event that we have coming up for our alumni.
Yes.
And so we really look forward to that, and we really thank you for all of your help with that as well.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Okay. Thank you very much for watching and listening. And be sure to check out some of the other Brock podcasts. Consider This talks about some of the great research happening here at Brock University, so we hope you'll check that out. Thank you again, and thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.